Hello, sweet angels, and welcome back to Awakening the Word, a journey to Christ consciousness. My name is Amanda, your intuitive guide and fave spiritual girly. And when I sat down with God this morning, God said, let's continue on with Isaiah 55:5 because it definitely parallels what we're moving through as a collective right now. So, as we pick up where we left off, the word is, as the rain and the snow come down from heaven and do not return to it without watering the earth and making it bud and flourish, so that it yields seed for the sower and bread for the eater, so is my word that goes out from my mouth. I feel like what is being said here has to do with challenges and foreseeing obstacles in our life. So sometimes when we are met with challenges, we almost like give up hope, or we try to push our way through, or we try to distract ourselves from said issue at hand until something comes along, which I just recently learned, a healing crisis. So, a healing crisis could be a sickness or like a common cold or a layoff from work. Um, Something that makes us stop in our tracks and to really reevaluate where we're going and what we're doing with our lives. Um, and really makes us sit down and assess what is actually going on and what we're choosing to run from and turn a blind eye to. So I feel like what Jesus is saying here, and what we can really tune into when we're looking at how to navigate our way through some of life's challenges, is seeing the challenge as one of those like teachers in school. So I'm sure we've all had one of those teachers that probably weren't our favorite, or maybe they were, but they challenged us in some way, shape, or form. They made us think outside of the box and get outside of our comfort zone when it came to answering the question or turning in an assignment or passing a test. Um, and I feel like what Jesus is referring to here, like, as the rain and snow come down from heaven and do not return to it without watering the earth and making it bud and flourish, what he's referring to is that there is such beauty in perspective. There's such beauty in the challenges and in the quote unquote pitfalls of life, right? Like rain and snow. I mean, rain causes wet roads, which can cause accidents, but it also provides such nutrients for us to grow. So there's two ways of looking at some of these events that occur in our lives. We can look at it through the lens of our ego, which is like suffering and why me, why me? Or we can shift over our perspective and see this beautiful opportunity to learn something about ourselves, to learn what season of our life we are in and what theme is really being presented in our lives right now, or what we're being asked to witness and see. And I feel that when we can shift out of the ego and that mode of suffering and like poor me, and into, okay, you are a wise teacher here challenging me. You're asking me to see whatever is going on from a different point of view. Okay, let me sit back and ask and invite in the question, invite in my higher self to ask the question, what is it you would have me know? Ask the situation, what would you have me know? And that situation, your higher self, in conjunction with everything that's going on, you'll hear an answer. You'll gain that clarity. And perhaps it's this notion of surrender. I'm asking you to surrender what you think needs to happen. I'm asking you to surrender your attachment to the outcome. I'm asking you to surrender your emotional attachments to relationships so that I can work through you in new ways. Because there is a reason for everything, and we see that here in Isaiah 55:5. And it just says, so that after it says, and making it bud and flourish, so that it yields seed for the sower and bread for the eater. It's like literally everything has a cycle and a purpose. And it's living in that gratitude and understanding that, yes, I may be so sick right now, and I may not have any idea about how I'm going to afford to pay my bills. But I'm going to surrender over this worrying, this need to control the outcome, and I'm simply going to ask what it is I can do in this moment to gain a new perspective. Because it is our emotions that make things way bigger than they actually are. And when we surrender our emotional attachment to the situation, we actually gain a lot of clarity. And there's fruit to be had here. There's a lesson that is going to be uncovered for our soul to evolve and grow, so we can shift out of that mindset of suffering, of victimhood, and shift back over into this lens of, I don't know, show me. But I'm here, I'm open, and I'm grateful for this opportunity to learn and to be challenged in new ways so that I can find the inner strength within me to creatively pursue a solution. And that is how we can choose to look at life. We can look at life through the lens of there's infinite creative solutions to whatever it is I am fixated on at the moment. And when I surrender that fixation, all of a sudden the creative opportunities and the solutions present themselves, and it yields seed for the sower, and it yields, you know, bread, and it yields beautiful flowers stemming from the earth, because we allowed the cycle to occur instead of resisting the cycle. We allowed the things to die that needed to die. We allowed the snow to come. We allowed for the rain to come and wash away everything that was actually in our way that we may not have even known, and allowed for so much greater expansion to occur within our lives. It is only our attachments to the external and our attachments to outcomes, as well as our emotions, that keep us hindered and stuck in a rhythmic cycle held within the past. When we can surrender that notion over and shift back into this state of love, of surrender, of peace, into our Christ consciousness, completely aligned with our higher selves, we actually gain the clarity and the next steps to take without hesitation. And then I want to go over one more thing. And it says in here, you will go out in joy and be led forth in peace. The mountains and hills will burst into song before you, and all the trees of the field will clap their hands. And it's like, there is hope. Like, God is not going to leave us astray in our darkest hour, and what appears to be our darkest hour. We are going to go out after the rain has poured and stopped, and after the snow has come and shown us what it needed to show us. And we will go out and sing and rejoice in the mountains, knowing that we have climbed to the highest peak, and we are ready to descend with the wisdom and the gratitude and appreciation that we have for that uphill climb. So just know, it says here, this will be for the Lord's renown, for an everlasting sign that will endure forever. So essentially, what it's saying is that the joy that you feel, the peace that's within you, is the everlasting sign that the Lord is with you, that Jesus is with you, that your Christ consciousness is with you, God is with you, and God walks with you every step of the way. And it's okay to fail and to fail again, but that everlasting love for a higher state of consciousness is what we're here to attain. And when we can stay in that mode of surrender and that mode of gratitude and shift out of this perception that our world is ending, and actually shift and see this purging process as a beautiful awakening and expansion, then that is truly when we can receive the messages and the clarity and the inner vision that we are meant to receive in order to help us navigate through whatever appears to be presenting itself in our external world. So, thank you so much for tuning in today. My prayers are with you guys, and just know that joy and peace are within you, and you have the ability today to do something that brings you joy and that brings you into a state of peace. And my heart goes out to all of you. So, thank you so much. If this message resonated for you at all, just be sure to like, share, and follow along for more ways in which you can embody the Word of God and just fully embrace your Christ consciousness. Thank you so much.